Hey everyone, welcome to the Horror Show. I'm Cecil Laird.
I'm Andrew Mercer.
I'm Susie von Slaughter.
Jaime and Fuego here.
Marcia Parker.
And right now we are going to be talking about our top 6 favorite movies of 2016.
The scary variety.
Yes, some of us not so much favorite, but it's
She was
okay.
having a kid, for God's sake. Cut her some slack.
Not so much. There's a lot that I
So
hated.
a couple of us may have top 2, top 3,
This
but at least 3 of us have a full top 6.
Of
So
tons that I hated.
to that end, let's get into it. And Marcia,
Get
ladies
in there.
first, what is your number 6 favorite horror movie? And here's the thing. We didn't all necessarily do them in any particular order. I did.
I tried to.
I did.
It's tough
Fancy
though.
fancy
Fuego
like that.
seemed to think that we didn't need to do that, but whatever. So, Marcia, I don't
Under
know.
the
Did
bus.
you do yours in a
Back it up.
non-descending order? Or?
I can put it in any order I want.
Yes, ma'am.
Ew.
Please do. Your least to most favorite. Well, I mean, not least, but you know what I mean.
Okay, so my 6
Mhm.
is gonna be Pride and Prejudice and Zombies.
Pretty good
Okay.
movie. I liked it.
I really liked it. I love the cinematography. I love the set design, the actors, and the makeup, and all of that stuff. And it was a fun movie. It's not super horror, but it made me feel good
In my
happy
what?
place.
I was like, where's that going to
There was
go?
a lot of pretty ladies.
No, there was. I thought the girl from Cinderella, the recent Disney remake, did a hell of a job. She had different hair color, but she was a badass.
It was a
Yeah.
better movie than I anticipated it being, for sure.
Same here.
They really pulled it off.
Especially for PG-13 horror. There's only so much you can do.
Well,
You have to
considering
get creative.
it's a property that never should have existed to begin with. I mean, it's a mashup
I
book that some guy was
think
like,
it
Pride and
should've-
Prejudice, that could use zombies. Let me write them in, you know? Like,
I think it was always meant to have zombies.
You might be right.
I read the book.
I read the book. Well, actually, no. I didn't read that book. I read his second book, which was the
Abraham
Lincoln Vampire Hunter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's move.
That was good, too.
Fair enough. Fuego, you're number 6.
So my number 6 is a cop-out because it's a tie. I could not
What?
decide between
That
these
is
two.
That
a
is a
cop-out.
cop
That's
out.
amazing.
I'm going to make an
Cop-out.
executive decision. You decide between that. You do
Sorry,
not
it's not-
mention 2.
Sorry, it's not happening. There was basically 2 very, very small independent films that I couldn't go between. There and they were so unique in what they did. Okay, whatever. I'm making it brief since it's 2. Therapy for a Vampire has actually been floating around since 2014 when it debuted in Austria, but it didn't hit America until this year. It is a very small Austrian, basically envisioned Only Lovers Left Alive. Tim Burtonized, comedic, and dark, visually beautiful, funny, obviously English subtitles, so for those that aren't down with that, you have to get past it. But I cannot recommend visually this film enough. It's actually very funny, the relationship between the two. Only Lovers Left Alive, if it was, as I said, horror comedy. And then the other one is Ava's Possessions. It's on Netflix still, I believe. It's about, essentially, envision a girl who gets possessed, and the demon is exorcised, and then what do you do afterwards? You probably end up in a former possession self-help group. Funny, horrific, and just weird about how there were some people that missed being possessed. Almost Outcast-esque a little bit, where they enjoyed the possession. It's played more so for laughs, so yeah, they're both small films. I mean, much smaller independent films than like The Witch or Green Room or something, but both worth watching. So there you go.
All right, and Susie, you have a top, what, 2 or 3?
Let's make it 3. So yeah, Pride and Prejudice with the zombies.
I think
And
that's
zombies.
the title.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something like that. Thank you, Seth
I didn't
Grandstaff.
hate it.
PPZ.
So yeah, when Marcia was talking about it, I was like, no, it wasn't so bad. It was actually funny. Because can you imagine, like, back then, that's what they had to deal with, but they already knew about it?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Yeah, so it wasn't bad. I didn't hate it. I didn't go out of my way to hate it. So, let's do that.
It's her
Alright,
least
fair
hated.
enough.
At
It's
number...
my least hated, so let's go with that. Let's go
There
with
you go.
that.
I'll take
Fair
it.
enough.
There you go.
Andrew, did you want to go or skip on this one?
I'll skip.
All right.
Save the best for last.
All right. So my number 6 then is going to be the Purge election year. And the reason I'm putting this is because, considering we watched so many horror movies, that's actually pretty high on my list. And I'm not a huge fan of the Purge movies, which is why it made my list at all, because this one was actually very impressive. I thought Frank Grillo did a great job.
He did.
And I thought the lady that played the senator did an excellent job. I thought...
She's kind of a babe.
Yeah, librarian babe. But I thought it surprised the hell out of me, quite frankly. And if I think at any point if we hit on one that's on another person's list, let's just talk about it then. And,
Yeah.
and that
Okay,
way,
because
yeah.
that was my second.
Your number
movie.
2?
Oh, wow. Oh.
Okay, cool. So why
Yeah.
did you like it so much?
Because I really like the Purge idea
Mm-hmm.
for the first 2 movies, but I didn't feel like they executed it the way I wanted them to until the last one, and the last one just made me so happy because it was everything you could ever ask for. If you want to think about what kind of world would we live in if we could murder everybody?
I
Like,
want my candy bar.
not just murder, but you can steal, you can do whatever you want. You can be as creative or non-creative, and would you participate, would you not participate? Like, what would that world look like? And they totally nailed it in election year, and it's definitely one that I would own if I bought movies.
Fair enough.
Well,
Okay.
they sowed the seeds in 2 and 3 delivered for me too. I'm right there with you. I actually really enjoyed it.
Yep, excellent one. So, Marcia, it's your turn. Number 5.
Back to Marcia.
My 5, I would say, is probably Don't Breathe.
Okay.
I know it's not
Honorable mention for me. For sure.
everybody's favorite, but I don't know. I really dug how they were able to make make the whole film in one house, and they used every inch of that house to make it exciting, and every shot was a different space, and like you just kind of felt for all the different characters. You didn't know who to hate and who to love, and I
A
loved
lot of shades
it.
of gray.
Yeah. The weirdest part was probably when you realized that he was like turkey basting the chicken downstairs.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
I think that's what the tick shouted, right?
Yeah.
Something like that.
It was that part they could have gone a different way with that, but interesting because it's definitely left open for a second one, which I think
They are
are
actually
doing.
developing that.
Yeah,
Indeed.
so I'm excited.
The whole lack of dialogue in the movie was pretty crazy.
It's engrossing.
Yeah, and like you're just waiting for something, and there's quite a bit of time before the next like dialogue. They start explaining something, and really it's just when he explains the whole thing in the basement.
Yeah.
That's really the only extensive dialogue, and then the setup before that.
Yeah.
That's it.
And the dog doesn't die or get hurt or
John Wick
anything.
style.
Mm-hmm.
So I approve.
Fair enough. Good reasons, all right. It didn't make my list, but Fuego, what's your next number 5?
Oh, I know this didn't make anyone's list, and I'm gonna get some serious flack
Here
for it
we
because
go.
Ghostbusters.
No. I don't even know if I put Ghostbusters on.
Did you
I-
forget to put Ghostbusters on yours, Marcia? You might
I
have to
can-
shuffle some.
I might have a new number 2.
Oh,
wow.
there you
Well,
go.
there you go.
All right.
I'm up number 2.
But it's a surprise, so I don't know.
Well, my number 5 is The Witch. I thought this was a fantastic movie. A lot of people didn't like it. They thought it was too slow, too plotting, too boring. I actually thought it built the tension perfectly.
How? When?
How? Yeah.
Maybe I
I'm
need
gonna
to watch it again.
See,
That's
like,
I honestly-
that's the thing.
I honestly
with
think you
your,
do.
no, with every, yeah. I think, because I didn't see it right away, with the Facebook hype, with everyone saying like, oh my god, it's so amazing. So I'm expecting this spectacular thing. And neither one of them, to me, like, was as great as everyone made it out to be. And I was kind of like, But,
Both Don't Breathe and The Witch, you mean?
yeah.
Okay.
No, The Witch was bad. Oh,
Witch-
okay.
Well, no, guys, this is Fuego's time.
The Witch
Sorry.
just is,
Say
it's
why.
not for everybody, and I understand that. If you don't really like period pieces, if you don't like slow-moving horror that doesn't have a lot
was,
of
like,
gore,
really dry,
I mean, it was
Or
almost
story.
well, it was there was a lot of story. It was the disillusion of a family and the whole cabin fever crazy just mentality that starts
was
to rise
super,
amongst
super,
everybody.
super
Bunker.
raw.
Bunker, that's the one that I'm thinking of. Yeah, the bunker mentality of accusing everybody of things, and I mean, I felt for this family. The fact that they're starving out in the middle of nowhere, get kicked out of their community, and the ending is amazing too. You can't knock the ending.
Well, the ending
No, the end
was
was
the
the
best
only
part.
good part of the movie. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't that how it's supposed to
Oh,
go?
where the
though?
kid was
Isn't
like
that the
seeing
way
the
It
witch in
shouldn't
the
be the
woods,
only
and
good
she went
part.
from sexy to creepy, and I don't know. It's not for everybody.
Wait,
it's
who was
very
sexy?
The little girl, obviously.
well. The blondie, yeah, I guess she's cute.
That's
You know.
just
And underage?
Whoa.
Wait.
You said sexy, I said cute. I'm like,
I heard-
okay, I guess
okay.
she's
Talking
cute.
about her and Morgan, oh yeah. But talking about
Morgan was good. Morgan would be an honorable mention for me, and she's in Split next year too. And then you have Night Shamhammer, so
Jam man.
All right, so,
Shame-a-lama
so
ding
that's your
dong.
number 5 then.
The Witch is my number 5. I know it's going to show up on a few worst lists probably our
Yes,
next video.
probably
but
so.
I will fight
all
it
right,
tooth
so we'll
and
skip
nail.
Susie this time.
Yeah.
All right. Do you have another skip, or you want to jump in on this one?
No, I'll skip.
Okay. skip
You
on this
shall
one.
not pass.
My number 5 is gonna be. Oh wow! I can't believe I put that as number 5.
But it was a
You
year
did
with
it.
a lot of good horror.
But you
No,
did it.
you know what? I think I'm gonna switch this and my number
Oh,
3.
God.
Gonna call an audible. My number 5 is
What?
officially gonna be Eli Roth's Clown.
Whoa.
Or I'm sorry, Eli Roth produced Clown.
Yeah.
Because he did not direct it, he helped bring it to the States.
Mm-hmm.
And it's essentially about a clown suit that possesses a man and he becomes an evil clown
I
creature.
still want to watch that movie so hard.
It was so good.
I
It
don't
is
know if I
so
saw
good.
Mm.
No? You didn't like it?
I'm sorry, I was having a muscle spasm.
Little mini
Yeah,
conversation.
apparently.
This
she
is
doesn't
actually
like anything.
Yeah, no, she's...
This is actually my number 2.
No,
You're
I
the
do
naughty,
like
You're
that.
the naughty one of the
I
group.
do like
Everybody
that.
else
Clown
is
was
like,
great.
I like
Clown
it.
was great.
I
agree.
guess I didn't like the acting in it. I liked the thought behind it.
Okay.
I like the idea.
Alright. I mean, kids got eaten. How could you not like that? You
That's
wish
why
for
it
your kids to
grows
get
up in
eaten
the
all
list.
time.
Gotta go rewatch.
Maybe I was thinking too much of that. That makes me like, oh.
No,
I
but
don't
Clown,
know.
you guys.
I really
Clown
like
was
watching
amazing for me. Did it show up on anyone else's list?
It's my 2.
You're number 2. Okay. All right.
I loved Clown.
Clown was amazing.
Clown was effed up,
Well, yeah,
and
the
it went to
story
the effed
behind
up
it.
places
Yeah,
I didn't
I didn't like
expect
the
it to.
Well, and it was a creature movie. At its core, it was a creature movie, which Fuego and I love. It's our favorite subgenre of horror. So, of course, it's going to show up on our list. And as I said, it was my number 3, but I made a swap at the last minute because my previous number 5 exemplifies what I love about a certain subgenre. So, we'll get to that.
I think if like James Wan had gotten a hold of that, it would have been way better.
Really?
See, I don't think it could have been improved.
Name
I
that
thought
much.
John Watts
out
did a
of
great
nowhere,
job. I mean,
name
he's
drop.
getting the Spider-Man movie for a reason.
Okay.
You
Oh,
know?
wow.
Yeah,
I still
sure.
gotta watch this.
I
movie.
love
It's
the
great.
idea
It's
behind
great.
it though. I love that, like the scene. Like,
I'll loan it to you, Marcia. It's
get it
great.
off.
Oh,
Yeah,
you
it's
have
great.
it?
I do.
It's
Yeah,
very
I
good.
just I didn't like the acting.
That's
I didn't care
excellent.
for that.
Fair enough. Okay,
Yeah.
fair enough. Well, that was my...
Film is subjective, as we
That
always
was my
say.
number 5. So, Marcia, what is your number 4?
I'm gonna go with Ouija Evil.
Ouija 2. Ouija Origin of Evil.
Origin of Evil.
Definite
Evil.
honorable mention
Evil.
for me. Great film.
Ouija Original.
It almost made it to my
of
list too,
Evil.
but it ultimately did not. So
Honorable.
what did you like about it?
I don't know, I love the set, like, it kind of goes back to the set design in the story. The
Period
little girl was
piece.
super cool.
Mm-hmm.
And even the ending story I
The
didn't
whispering
mind.
in the ears. All the...
Yeah. And then the crazy movement and all the murder, death, kills.
The whole
You did
backwards
self-a
backbreak
reference.
thing was rad.
Nice.
So I thought they did a really good job with it. I don't think it was, and plus they like revamped the whole series because the first one was so bad
Never
that
saw it.
we saw this one
Yeah.
and I was like,
bad.
nice. This is a movie I would watch again.
Nice.
You know? So that's why it's my number 4.
Okay.
I would watch it again.
Way to wrap
Indeed.
it up.
I would too. Fuego, you're number 4.
Another number 4 that nobody here has seen, and some might be putting on their worst list, but I loved it. I got to see it at the Phoenix Film Festival for the International Horror Sci-Fi Sub-Branch that Monty Yassi helps out with. The Greasy Strangler.
I can't believe it. Really? That high in your
It was
list?
so funny and
It's
weird
Jaime.
and
He's been
strange.
talking about
And
this movie
I will
all
not
He has,
shut
he
up
has.
about this movie
Yeah.
because if it's like an X-rated Tim and Eric horror movie is the best way that I can describe it. Like
Oh dear
the
God. I'm
soundtrack
glad
is
I
so
didn't see it.
bloopy, blippy, weird, strange, quirky.
All of the
That
place.
it's essentially about this guy and his son that do tours in Hollywood of the old disco haunts and stuff like that, and the dad apparently is a greasy strangler going around killing people, and it's gory, it's silly, it's disgusting. You see a lot of old male dong, and since I'm a big fan of that, right? No, it's done,
Embrace
said
it.
it, we didn't.
Embrace it, Jaime.
it's done for
So like
comedic
you said,
effect,
it's
and,
Jaime's theme.
and you know what?
Well,
it was.
in that case.
But it was put out by Timpson Films, the same guys who did one of my best last year, which was a film called Deathgasm. Similar, quirky, strange, gross, violent, funny. That's my favorite type of horror movies, is where they inject comedy along with the scary
Horrible
stuff.
horror
And
movies.
Is it that slapsticky comedy? Or,
yes, very much so. But when it's bloody, it's
Get it?
bloody. It's
Like
just.
a bloody,
weird.
gory, weird.
Greasy.
No, he just.
Oh.
I just want more people to see it. You
Man.
know,
It's like stuff
Elijah
like
Wood
that.
I
helped
can
produce
respect
this
that.
movie.
Fair enough.
It's so.
I feel like I
weird.
have to
Get
watch
the
it at
word
this
out.
point
I
because
feel
you've
like
been
it's
talking
the-
about it all year.
Yeah.
It's the weirdest
Is it the
movie
dong?
I've seen all year.
The Mandong.
It's the man.
Man
The
dong.
old man dong.
All right, Greasy Strangler.
Yes,
Tagline.
Greasy Strangler. It's out now
How many-
on
are we
Blu-ray
another
and
skip
DVD.
for you? Because this is his number 4.
Skip.
All right, skip.
All right, I'm gonna drop it would be number 2
Okay.
out of 2.
Okay.
So,
We're not
It
waiting
would
until
be-
2 for this.
The Green Room.
Okay.
Saw it.
Green
it
Room
was
is my number
early.
3, actually.
All right.
Perfect timing.
We saw it at the
Yeah.
was it the International Film Festival?
International Horror and Sci-Fi Film Festival.
Well, no,
Was
that
part
was
of it?
just
No.
that was just a screening
just
they
a
hooked
good
us up
screening,
with.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, we got hooked up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, I didn't know anything about the movie. Went in with 0 expectations, which I think is a lot of what Jaime is alluding to with a lot of these movies. Just go in not really expecting something. You went in with expectations for something.
Yeah, see, I will Facebook
So,
people can't shut them out.
The burden of hype.
I
Yeah.
went in. Who's the main actor?
Anton Yelchin.
Yes,
Anton Yelchin.
Rest
yes,
in peace,
no
man.
longer with us, but he really did a good job in this movie. So basically, it's this rough and tough band, you know, down on the luck,
Punk rock!
and they
Saw the
kind of
beginning
get,
of it.
you know, biffed out of a gig.
Mm-hmm.
So they take the second option just to get paid, and it turns out messing with their entire lives.
Mhm.
They see something they're not supposed to see, and I mean, anybody's night from there would have been pretty bad. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to give too much away. It's really good to go see.
Caught up in the crossfire.
Man, the gore was something that, like, I would like to say hostile-esque, but some people might be like, oh, I'm not going to go see it. It's not like that.
Not super prevalent, but effective.
It's,
Mhm.
you know, it's in a really dark club, and there's not a lot of, like, spotlights on stuff, so your imagination kind of gets to take over. So
Imagine
you see what you want to see with a lot of the gore. So,
Yeah.
And bald guy, Star Trek.
Patrick Stewart.
So
Yes.
he's in it too, and he plays this just
So random.
calm.
Nazi leader.
Yeah, he just this calm,
is so
collective.
cool.
I've seen everything. You don't scare me,
No.
and I mean till the bitter end. He
Patty
did a
Stew's
really
chilling
good
in
job.
this
Oh,
So
I gotta
my
watch
number
this
2
movie.
of 2, which makes it last, but it's not way better than last.
Fair enough. So then that's going to bring me to my number 4, which I'm going to go ahead and slot Blair Witch. I thought
Ah.
Blair Witch
Well,
2016
You
was
stole
excellent.
my number 1.
Oh.
That's your one?
Your number
Fuck
one.
That's
yeah.
okay.
I mean,
All right, well, we'll
F
talk
yeah.
about it. We'll talk about it. I loved it. I thought it exemplified what a good found footage movie should be, which is appropriate considering it also popularized the genre back in the early 90s with the original The Blair Witch Project. I thought they stepped it up. I thought the witch was amazing. I thought the acting was serviceable. I thought the effects were good. I thought the scares were good. I thought the found footage aspect was more than accomplished. I just loved it. Marcia.
Yes.
Yeah.
Why did you love it? Why did
no,
you
that's
love it?
why I say yes. I was agreeing.
Okay,
Mm.
all right.
No, yeah, I'm a big fan of the Blair Witch since day one because I got to be that 16-year-old girl that believed the interwebs and was super freaked out about this movie
It's
that was
real!
found footage. Oh my god, it's so real! Like, and I lived in the woods and it was creepy. So, like, I was always a huge fan of it, and I thought I loved the second one. Everybody else hated it, but I thought it was
Yeah,
cool.
that
It was so meta. I was like,
Mhm.
this is so much fun.
Okay,
This was
honey.
definitely way better than those first two.
Oh
I-
yeah,
I will
and
give
the,
it that.
yeah, and there was only a few things that bothered me about the movie, and that's just because I'm probably a big fan of the original. But like, obviously, they filmed it in a different set of woods, so the
Yeah.
woods looked different, and there was this perpetual darkness, which had no sense for the whole the lore of the witch. And it's supposed to be like time travel. and-
Dimensional jumping. Yes.
Ugh.
Yep.
They should have just stuck to the roots, made the witch awesome.
I mean, they did
Breaking
kinda make
people's
the
heads off.
witch Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
It
They
was
did,
pretty
but
good.
they
But
could have got rid of that extra stuff. But it was still my number one because,
Wow.
you know, there wasn't a lot of movies that made me that excited. Like the Blair Witch and Purge, they made me really excited to watch
Yeah,
there you
movies.
go.
Yeah,
So
it's
There
true.
you go.
Not only that, but as a matter of fact, Blair Witch was on the same night that we had already got tickets to see 31, if I'm not mistaken.
Mhm.
yes, we did.
And we
made a
opted to see
judgment.
Blair Witch because that's how much of a fan that
Yeah.
you and I are of it.
Yeah,
It
we're
was
like,
also
I
weeks
would
and weeks
rather-
ahead.
Mhm.
So.
I
Yeah.
would much rather watch Blair Witch over the 31. Even though I enjoyed 31 too, but
Yeah.
Or it might have been Yoga Hosers,
we'll get
actually.
to
Maybe it was
31.
Yoga Hosers,
It
not
was
31.
it was
It was Yoga
It
Hosers
was
because we
Yoga
opted
Hosers.
not to see Yoga
Yeah.
Hosers, which was, we made
Sorry
the good choice
about
there.
that.
Gotcha.
But anyway, so that was, okay, so that was
That was your
my
number
number
four.
4 and your number 1,
Yeah.
Marcia. So,
So
what is
three.
your number
something.
3?
Conjuring
3?
2.
Conjuring 2.
That's my number 3 as well.
Honorable mention for me.
My number 3 as well.
I mean, it was so awesome. I remember when watching this movie, everyone was so excited, and Susie
The first
was
one
crying.
was amazing. Literally crying during the movie.
She's like, I can't handle this
Thanks,
shit.
guys.
It's too real.
Thanks for putting me out
Well,
there.
The
like
crooked
that.
man. The crooked man's my favorite
Did you see
thing.
that bus before it hit you, Susie?
Yeah,
Thanks, guys.
did you see the like,
Mm.
the Crooked Man was super awesome, and one of my
Crooked
favorite.
Man was amazing, and not only so amazing, but I found out just recently watching the special features that he was practical,
Yeah.
not CG. He was actually a really thin dude in a really skin tight costume.
I love
Yeah,
that.
I didn't even tell you that. It was a real dude doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it was
Ew.
amazing.
I thought they did a fantastic job. And one of my favorite parts of the movie had nothing to do with the movie. It was the first 5 minutes when they were doing Amityville.
Amityville, yeah.
Yeah.
James Wan's Amityville. Yeah.
See, that's what I'm saying, James.
I want that movie. I just sat there and was like, give me that movie. I don't give a shit about
Give me that
anything else.
movie.
No,
Give me
but,
that
but the
movie.
zoetrope, not only that, but the between the Crooked Man and the Nun, James Wan created 2 horror
Yeah.
icons
That's
in
what
one
I'm
movie.
saying.
And one was
And that
unintentional.
scene with the nun and the painting
Yeah.
coming from behind it and like
And
just
it wasn't originally
oh.
supposed to be that
Yeah.
nun either.
It wasn't. No,
Cool.
that was a last minute ad, and it
Yeah.
ended up being so disturbing that they're
I mean-
doing a nun movie.
And at
I
the press
wasn't that
screening-
impressed with the Nun, to be honest.
Really?
I
I like
thought
the
the
Nun.
Crooked Man was
Crooked
much
Man was way scarier.
way
Yeah.
better than the Nun. I thought it was.
but
She
the nun
felt
was
out
still
of place.
unnerving as shit.
She could, if she was in a different movie, I would be into. Because it was supposed to. She was reflecting back to the Amityville horror movie. So if they just had
just-
her there.
But you applauded it a second ago that they made the connection back and then.
Yeah, well, no, the first 5 minutes.
But after that, no.
It was.
Well, yeah, because they
It was
just leave
great.
that part
It was
behind.
great.
They do
Yeah.
the little
It was
TV
great.
segment, and
It was
that's
amazing.
it. So,
Alright.
Loved it.
But-
honorable mention for
Let
sure.
him
Loved
do
it.
Amityville.
The camera tricks that he used, the scene in which they were trying to talk to the old man through the little
Oh,
girl
that's
by having
so
her blurred in the
good.
background, and then
Mm.
it looked like it turned into
Yeah.
him. Like, there was just so much amazing, amazing stuff in that movie that I rewatched it again and showed it to Brittany, who's been on the channel a few times. And she had never seen it, and I was watching it and still getting goosebumps at all the same spots
Yeah.
because it's just that good of
Just
a
the
horror movie.
possession of the girl is such a phenomenal
Well,
actress.
Susie, speak to it. Is this
Yeah.
on your list? It has to be.
It's my number 1.
Okay,
What?
yeah, go for it. Why did you like it so
Oh
much?
my god. Okay. Yeah, so I don't. Okay. P.S. Like, I don't give a shit what anyone says. Like, I've been through this before, and so that's why it hit, like, so close to me.
Hauntings like this, you mean?
Yes,
Mhm.
because with my first son, I was going through it. So when all that shit was happening with, like, toys going off on it,
The
I was
fire
like,
truck rolling back
I was
at her
like,
and
"Ooh,"
stuff. Yeah.
like, it just kind of, like, put me right back into it. Yeah. And so these two can totally, like, contest to it. Like, I was freaking out. I was like, I need to go, but I can't go anywhere. Like,
Yeah.
there's so many people. I'm like, ah, fuck.
Yeah.
And it was, like, crying. I'm like, oh, my God. Yeah, it was really intense. I really enjoyed it. I can't speak enough about it, like, highly enough about it. I loved it. James Wan, he's fantastic, very original. I love it. I loved
That
everything
creepy
about it.
puppet.
And that's why he's my number 1. Yeah, the Crooked Man. Holy shit.
So good.
That was...
I gotta show you
amazing.
that special feature, Reese. It's so creepy.
I can't believe that.
It's
like,
total. It's full on. dude.
Legit.
It's
Full
really
on,
good.
dude.
Yeah, no,
I'm
so much
missing-
of it. I was like, oh my god.
Yeah.
And I was like put right back into it. I was like, holy shit. Are you guys seeing this? Ooh.
Alright.
Yeah.
So yeah, my number 3 we've actually talked about already, which is Green Room, and my number 2, Clown, as well. So I'm going to use this brief moment to mention the fact that there's a lot of unsung heroes, honorable mentions that didn't make the list. Hush was one. Southbound was
Why are you
another one
pointing
that
at
I
me with
thought
Hush?
because I know
Hush.
you hated it.
Hush.
Hush
Like-
about that damn movie. Even Train to Busan, we were late on the train for
So
that
good.
one, and I think that's an honorable mention that needs to be hit upon.
All right, so now for our number 2s. I know a couple of them have already been said. So,
Yeah.
Marcia.
Yeah, all mine have been said, but I would go ahead and change my because mine was gonna be the Purge, so I'm gonna change it to Ghostbusters.
No!
Yeah.
Calls the
I
on.
liked it.
Yeah, I thought it was it was really fun, and I watched it again recently, and I just enjoyed it even more. I almost bought it. Like, that shows how much I liked it, because I don't buy movies anymore. I watch them. And...
She refuses to pay money.
No, I just never I stopped buying movies because I never watch them again. But now I'm very selective with the ones that I buy. That I'm only gonna buy the ones I know I'll rewatch, and so I'm really close to buying that one because I thought it was.
Didn't you just say you bought it?
No, almost.
Almost
okay.
bought it.
I'm really close.
Yeah.
It's an extended cut on the Blu-ray,
I got
so maybe
Jurassic
you would want to
Park
buy it.
Lost World instead.
Lost World or Jurassic World?
Or Jurassic World.
You don't even know you bought.
But I have it.
But
I'm
but you
watching
got
it.
it.
All right.
But no, I really like the Ghostbusters. I thought the women did a fantastic job. I love the way they recreated it. So it was, I mean, it mirrored the original, but they did it in a respectful way. So.
Cool.
Awesome.
And what was your number 2 again for you?
Number 2 once again was Clown. So I mean, it really went places that I was not expecting it to with the violence, especially where about halfway in we were thinking, oh, they're not going to go there, and then sure enough, the death of kids starts happening. Man, that scene where they're in the play place, whatever thing, it messed me up, man. It was really disturbing. I like the whole just concept of it. John Watts directing, I thought, did a good job. I've yet to see Cop Car, which is this one that helped him get the keys to the, Marvel Castle and directing the new Spider-Man Homecoming movie. However, it's my number 2. The sheer fact that clowns have always kind of scared me a little bit, and so a new entry into the pantheon.
Cool. Susie, do you have 1 left or 2 left?
No, I got 2.
You got 2 left. Okay, so what's your number 2 then?
All right, I was gonna say 10 Cloverfield Lane. I love John
Honorable
Goodman.
mention.
Oh,
So good.
Love him so much. But yeah, in one of those situations where like you don't know what's going on and then you're like forced to be like these random people, I don't know. I really liked it. I really enjoyed it. It's mostly because
Did you
of John
like the
Goodman.
end with the monsters and stuff, or did you like just the bunker stuff more?
More of the bunker. I don't know. It's like
I thought it was a good payoff for all the bunker
no,
stuff.
yeah,
The
no.
whole
I
movie
thought it was
changed at the end.
yeah. I thought it was good because it again like what do you do in that kind of situation? And all of a sudden you're trying to escape, but then you realize holy shit, yeah, I should have stayed down there. Like you know what I mean? Like so I don't know. It was good. I liked it.
But it got you. So was the acting and the it had to be the acting more than anything else in that because it wasn't super
because I don't
effects
really
heavy
like.
until
Yeah, I
the
don't
end.
really care for like alien shit.
Okay,
John Goodman, love him.
fair enough.
And then what's her name? Ramona Flowers. I
Oh,
know her
yeah.
from Scott-
Yeah.
That's how I know her.
No,
She's
no, I know,
Ramona
me too,
Flowers
me
to
too,
me.
yeah.
But yeah,
Mary
no, I
Lewis
really
something, I
really
can't
like
think
her
of
too. And then like dude all of a sudden
Mary
ends up,
Elizabeth
like
Winstead.
she like ends up in like an acid bath. Like, oh hey, P.S. And then like all of a sudden, hey, you're my daughter now. You know what I mean? It's like holy shit. So is it really better down there than it is up here?
Mhm.
It's
Okay.
debatable.
Yeah, don't know.
That is the question.
That is the question everybody asks themselves.
Andrew, do you have 2 left or 1 left?
1.
Okay, then we'll save that for your number 1. So I'm gonna flip flop. I went back and forth on these, but I think I'm gonna ultimately, when I consider why I like both of my number 2 and number 1, I think ultimately I'm gonna like the one that Fuego has as his number 1 is my number 1 as well. So I'm gonna switch it and say my number 2 is The Shallows.
Oh.
I love The Shallows. The movie was gorgeous and it was scary and it was unnerving and the shark was amazing and huge and ominous. The effects were incredible and again, every frame was beautiful to look at, whether it's because of Blake Lively or the beach atmosphere.
Mrs. Deadpool.
It was so gorgeous and part of the fun was watching Fuego watch it for the first time where he was
I love
jumping
sharks, man.
at all the appropriate spots, all the spots that got me. I personally put The Shallows up there with Jaws. Send me the hate, I don't care. I think the shark is way more convincing than the Jaws shark was.
Of course it was.
Obviously. But that's only a small part of why I liked this movie so much. I just thought it was awesome and I enjoyed the hell out of it.
I didn't think it was that great, to be
Ah.
honest. And I thought
Honorable
it was.
mention.
I agree that it was beautifully shot, and I think everybody did a fantastic job on and with the film. I was just bored. The whole, I was like, really, this is it?
I
Like,
was on
what?
edge.
And I was so concerned
What did you
about
think it was
the
going to be
shark.
about? They never advertised
I was
anything
like-
but that.
Yeah, but I don't know. Like, I knew what it was going to be about, but I was still bored. And then I couldn't get over the fact, like, what is wrong with this shark? Like, it's been 3 days. You think you would find something better to do? than like hunt
Right.
her.
So that's
Not
logic.
if it keeps smelling her blood.
I don't
And the
know.
whale is right nearby the whole time too,
But
so
he
it had no reason
purposely
to
put
leave.
the whale there to like.
He didn't purposely put it there.
He killed it and left it there and dragged it at one point.
He was munching on it. He didn't necessarily
Just
kill it.
chilling.
We didn't know that. It was just a dead whale carcass that it happened
Anyways,
across.
I feel like that shark would have left a while ago.
Brought
I
friends,
feel like you're
came back with
nitpicking just
friends.
like you did with Hush. So
I thought it built tension splendidly. It's an honorable mention for me because of the fact that they also didn't blow their wad all at once, similar to Jaws. They kept it, yeah, similar to Jaws. You saw peeks at the shark as opposed to just full on, and that was actually a photo circulating around all the sites recently where they were like some of the best CG of the year. They freeze framed that shark and looked very convincing. I mean, way better than Deep Blue Sea.
Yeah.
I agree. They did a really great job on the movie. I just didn't enjoy the movie.
It's not for everybody.
Alright.
Okay, fair enough.
Well, let's move on to number ones then. Marcia, what was your number
Drum
one?
roll!
We already hit it, I think. Blair
Yeah,
Witch.
mine was the Blair Witch because it surpasses all movies everywhere.
Ever.
Okay, fair enough.
Dun dun dun.
I know what
Fuck
Fuego's is
you
going to be,
guys,
so
man.
we'll hold off on that since we're going to talk about it
Yeah.
at the same time. Susie, what was your number one?
The Conjuring 2.
Okay,
Then we've talked about that already.
we did
so
talk
good.
about that. Why did you?
Honorable
We
mention.
talked about why you liked it as well. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
What is Mercer's number one?
And
My
there's
number one is the Black Coat's daughter.
Ah, you fell.
Not on my list because it was officially delayed to next year.
Yes,
but
unfortunately, I saw it this year. Okay, so
Yeah, we got screeners, Fuego.
I know. For
but
once.
the story, I'll keep it brief. The story was really great. You have to follow it, keep your eyes open, start to finish, but it's worth it. The little, what's her name? She was in American Horror Story Coven.
Scream Queen,
Emma
Scream
Roberts.
4.
Yeah, Emma Roberts. She
Mhm.
did a really good job, and the other two girls that played in it did a really good job.
The younger one especially, creepy.
Yeah, real creepy.
I'll be talking about this next year.
Dexter's father, Dexter from the show. What's the guy's name? I don't know.
Morgan Freeman.
Yeah,
I
Morgan
don't
Freeman.
know. No, we don't know what his name is.
I don't know, but he
Uh.
played. He just played a dad, and he kind of, I don't know. He made you feel. He brought the feels out, which was really good. 'cause I'd be-
You see many of us say that now.
The feels.
But it's a really good movie. I don't know. Like I said, I enjoyed it the most out of most of the movies I watched this year. So it's my faves right now.
But there's a connection there because that film was done by a company called A24.
Oh,
And
yeah.
A24 did our number one of the year.
Which was Brian Bertino's The Monster.
What a movie.
It was a monster movie, of course, but frankly, the reason we liked it as much as we did was the acting of the mother and daughter. It was their
Incredible.
relationship and how amazing they portrayed it. The stakes of which were only raised by a monster that was pretty terrifying.
Because there were technically two monsters in this movie, and there was the one that attacks them, and then the one that dwells within inside the mama bear. She's a pretty flawed character, and you hate her, you want redemption for her. There's so much going on within it, and it's emotionally complex, which is why I liked it so much.
Yeah.
And it brings gore, and it's great practical for the monster, and I mean, best of both worlds for me.
Yeah, it was just an amazing all-around movie. I mean, I found myself crying, I found myself being scared, I found myself loving gore. It was an all-around amazing experience by the same director that brought The Strangers.
Brian
So
Bertino.
It's just an amazing, amazing movie. If you haven't seen it, check it out. Our review is glowing, and almost everyone that went and saw it and commented afterwards agreed with us.
Mm-hmm.
So it is a worthwhile film. So
I didn't get to see it because I was in transport.
Yep, indeed.
That's right, yes. Shout out to, once again, Monty Yazzie, International Horror and Sci-Fi Film Festival Fall Showcase, where we got to see this.
Mhm,
Yes.
Indeed.
So,
So
yeah.
for 2 years in a row, you saw your favorite movie at the Fall Showcase of the
Indeed,
year.
indeed.
'Cause
I'll
last
take
year
it.
it was Final Girls for him.
Mhm,
so.
Indeed, I will take it every time because these movies are amazing. Good choices, Monty. We appreciate it. So, all right, guys, that's going to cover our top 6 of 2016. Thank you very much for joining us. I've been Cecil Laird.
I'm Ange Mercer.
Susie von Slaughter.
Gracias, Jaime and Fuego.
Marshburger.
Let us know in the comments below what your top 6 were, or if you agree with any of ours or disagree. We had a pretty wide range here, guys, so we had a lot of options for you to choose from. We'd love to know what you thought, but thanks very much, and remember,
Stay scared!